Hi there, in this short video we're going to look at how we can use npm to add the Apryse WebViewer into a vanilla HTML based web page, giving us access to PDF viewing as well as docx editing and spreadsheet editing. Awesome! I'm using Node version 22 and npm version 11. I'm also using Windows, but you should get similar results with other versions of Node and npm and macOS and Linux. We'll start off by installing the Apryse WebViewer using npm I at pdftron/webviewer. Great! Now let's start putting our web page together using Visual Studio Code. We'll start off by creating a folder where we'll put all of our project code. I'm going to call it public, but you could call it source or whatever you prefer. In this folder, I'm going to create a new file called index.html. Next, we're going to copy some of the files that were installed using npm from @pdftron/webviewer into this new public folder. We need to take the core and UI folders along with the webviewer.min.js, and I'll put them into a new folder called lib/webviewer. I could place them elsewhere, but I do need to know where they are because we will reference this folder in a few moments. Now let's go into the index.html file and copy some code from the Getting Started guides on the Apryse website. The two essential things here is there's a script tag with the source being the webviewer.min.js file and the location we've just copied it to in the public folder. And also there's a div element with the ID of viewer, which is where we're going to mount WebViewer in a few moments. There's also some styling information on this div. Now let's paste in another block of code, which is a script tag that includes the WebViewer constructor. The important things to note here: the path option is the relative location of the WebViewer core and UI folders that we'd copied into our public folder. We also need to specify a license key, and you can get a trial license key from the Apryse website. I'm also including an initial document, which in this case is a URL, but it could be a local file. And finally, we need to specify the element where we want WebViewer to be mounted. In this case, it's the div with the ID of viewer. The WebViewer constructor returns a promise, and when that resolves, we get the instance object, which is one way we can interact with the API, but we're not going to do that in this code. Once we've saved the files, all that's left to be done is to serve the web page. You could use Apache or IIS, but I'm going to use HTTP server. That's a very simple web server that's great for testing out apps. I can click on the link that's created, and the web page will start for me. You can see that the initial document is loaded, and we can add annotations or shapes, or we could measure things that are on that page. In fact, if you're really keen to get started, head on over to the Apryse showcase and you can try these things out right now with zero code. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, then click on subscribe and you'll hear when we produce new videos. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.